strong sense of responsibility and his Godiva jokes. He's an air traffic controller by day, and today is serendipitously is the International Air Traffic Controller Day. So uh, I will congratulate him later. He's also the Toastmasters Division K PR Manager by night. And now, let us put our hands together to our star speaker of the evening, Toastmaster Munir Mohamad.
Thank you, Organizing Chairperson Melody Lee. Hello, everyone. How do you read me? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Oh, my eyes. Hello, everyone. My name is Muhammad Munir bin Mohamad. For short, you can call me Munir. And this evening, I would like to share why mentorship matters. I'm going to share 3 years ago, I was searching for a platform whereby I can develop how to become a better communicator. And at that time, I have no interest whatsoever in becoming or honing my leadership skills. So this is a story how my mentor tricks me, persuade me in this journey. I was lucky, 3 years ago, I met a Batman and also a Darth Vader. These two persons were instrumental when I embarked my journey in becoming a Toastmaster 3 years ago. First and foremost, what is a mentor? Mentor is someone who has this kind of trait, a busybody person. He likes to know your personal interests and keep texting you, what can I do for you? And this person also, in my experience, is my role model and someone that I can follow, that I can look up to. And sometimes I do whisper secrets to them. You know who you are. And I hope my secrets are safe with you guys. Apart from that, mentor is someone who has been in Toastmaster for some years, and they are responsible in offering their knowledge, their insight, their perspective, and their wisdom. Mr. Batman over here, he always told me, Munir, as a leader, I'm not interested in becoming a leader. But he said, as a leader don't create followers, he says, but leaders create leaders, he says. And at that time, I was like, okay, whatever, I'm not interested. And lastly, mentor is someone who responsible in helping you to become a successful in your journey. Initially, when you become a Toastmaster, you have this phase of confusion. And this is where the mentor comes in, where they help you to learn the program. They also will introduce you to the club standards, what are the customs. Some clubs, they have restriction. There are 4 things that cannot say, but some clubs, they have customs whereby you can talk whatever you want to talk on this 4 taboo topic. Mentor also helps you in develop your confidence. How you going to do that? He or she will ask you to record yourself, to practice, or do some homework with him or her. And also, from my experience, my mentor always trick me. Munir, participate more. Munir, take a role. Munir, what are you doing? Munir, I was like, okay. So this is my mentor skills. I don't feel offended by it, but somehow they are like trickster. They are good with this. And finally, with all that, the transition, I think in my years in Toastmaster, my speaking skills have been developed. Now, what's in for the members itself? For someone who has been a Toastmaster for many years, this is a chance for you guys to further refine your skills. How you going to tackle the new Toastmaster? Young person has different mindset, different way of doing things. So as a seasoned Toastmaster, if you have been in the club for so many years, you will encounter this. And with this, you can further refine your skill. And for me, I've been in Toastmaster for the past 3 years, and I have only 2 mentee or protege at the moment. With them, I always talk to them. I learn new skills, how to talk to them. I've become a trickster right now. So what's in the house for the mentors itself? For the mentor, number one, definitely you can learn from your mentees. In fact, right now, there are calls being made by certain experts in the industry for the old person, please look for younger mentees or for younger mentors, because the way younger generation think right now is so different, the generation gap. Second, as a seasoned Toastmaster, apart from giving fantastic evaluation in Toastmaster meeting, taking up roles, giving so much motivation towards the member, you can also remain productive. Third, you can do something for others. And finally, you can receive recognition. Presidents, club president, please take note. Please award me Godiva after this. Moving on, I would like to talk about how mentoring will benefit to the club. When you have someone new in your club and their journey becomes smooth, they fall in love with the club, definitely you will attract more members. Apart from that, you also will have a quality experience whereby your members become satisfied with the club itself. And by doing this also, by having a mentoring program in your club, there's a high chance possibility, according to Toastmaster, there's a high chances of member retention in the future. So mentors, what are the qualities that you should have? According to Toastmaster, you should have 10 qualities, which is number 1, available, patient, sensitive, respectful, flexible. For me, I have always told my mentees, since I'm working in shift pattern, you can always text me. 2 a.m., 3 a.m., I have no problem in answering your question. And they always, something that my mentor always told me, Munir, I'm just a text away. Just text me if you have any confusion or if you have any matters that you want to siphon it out. Number 2, patient. Some of your mentees has some kind of difficulty in the beginning, and be sensitive towards your mentees. And in the same time, this is something that I think I should emulate, is be respectful. For example, when your mentee send you their speech text, I strongly suggest that you don't like alter your mentee's speech 100%. That is so disrespectful. Try to be a bit diplomatic in a way, somehow, not to do that, and be flexible. Apart from that, be supportive, knowledgeable, confident, a good listener, and concern for others. I would like to talk about the qualities number 9. This is a very important, in my experience, this is a very important qualities that mentor should have, because not everyone going to stay for 20 years, 30 years, but they will remember you as a mentor when they leave the club as someone who really listened to them, really listened to them. They have problems sometimes. Sometimes they don't, in my experience, my mentee says to me, I don't see any more benefits or how I can develop myself. And I always respond to them, it's okay. If you think you are good, or the club or the platform itself, the Toastmaster itself cannot help you, this is the chance for you to help others also. And apart from that, I've from my experience, I try to persuade them and all that. But because I think mentor and mentee is a two-way street. If I try to reach to them and they don't reciprocate my feelings, then there's nothing we can do also. Perhaps we can ask someone else to do it for us in a way to persuade our mentees. Now, let's move on to how, as a mentor, we start our journey with our mentee. The first meeting, 3 years ago, when I was I'm so confused at that time, Mr. Batman asked me, hey Munir, let's meet up at Burger King. So 3 years ago, no COVID, no anything, no mask. We straight away go to Burger King and we sit down. And he teach me face to face how to log in. I'm so noob at that time. Even I have no idea how to log into Toastmaster website. He teach me one by one to log in. So this is the pathway base camp. You answer the questionnaire first, and then you decide which pathway. So mentors, please take note, the first meeting, please sit down with your mentees. Or in this era, please, you can have Zoom session. Number two is the next meeting. Make your mentees aware of the resources available in Toastmaster website. Toastmaster is a brilliant platform. Everything has been done for you. You just follow the manual and be creative about it. And don't forget to provide a positive feedback. Win your mentee heart. If you don't win your mentee heart, and I doubt that they will want to go to another meeting again. Apart from that, also explain the responsibilities, and please help your mentees with speeches and other club roles. Now, over time, you can please ask your mentee to join you. According to Toastmaster, please invite them to club hopping. Go to others' club meeting. See how others' club are doing their meetings. And don't forget to acknowledge their progress. From presentation mastery level 1 to presentation mastery level 2, text them privately. Hey, well done. Look how far have you gone. Apart from that, be a trickster. Try to persuade your mentee to become one of the officers in the future. And that's how I'm being tricked to become a taking up a leadership roles in Toastmaster, and explain to them the organization from club to district to division up until to the world. Now we have talked about mentor. Let's talk about mentees. Mentees, please remember that mentor, protege, and mentor is a two-way street. It is not a one-way street. It needs both of you to reciprocate, both of you to reach out to each other. And only then, when you ask, only then you will know, only then when your mentor will know what your confusion is all about. Please reach out to your mentor. You must have this eagerness to learn and be receptive. Be open to new ideas. When I joined Toastmaster, they asked me to not to, because if you join a debate team before this, there are few kind of things that you learn in your, for example, in your debate are not being practiced in Toastmaster. Please open up to that new kind of idea. And please show some grateful towards your mentor, because this is not a, we are not being paid to be a mentor, or so it will be good if you can appreciate your mentor. And according to Toastmaster, mentor, mentee, mentor, protege is not a finite relationship, is it? In my case, I only guide my mentor guide me until a certain level, I think until level 3. And after that, I start to become a mentor, and I have a mentee, and my mentee also finish his level 1. What I like about this picture is, so this is my Darth Vader, Dr. Carol Asfar. And then this is my first president, Mr. Batman. So this is my second president, Eugene. And this is the current president, Anita. And this is not your future president. And relationship in Toastmaster develop more than that. Not only when you are in meeting, but they have become my best friend, my confidant. I whisper my secrets to them. I whisper my gossips to them. I also enjoy with this is Kiseng, my first mentee. Look, two crazy people together in a club. We develop such relationship. And this is what I really hope for other mentor and mentees to develop their relationship. And this is me taking up my second mentee, Cikgu Avra, all the way from Pitas. But currently, owing to COVID, we cannot meet that much. And hopefully, when we flatten the curve, we can manage to meet up. Currently, we only stalk each other through Instagram and WhatsApp status. So, ladies and gentlemen, for me, mentor is someone who can guide you, inspire you, and help you through your journey at becoming a Toastmaster. After all, mentor and mentee, they have beautiful wings. And their beautiful wings are not visible to each other, actually. They need someone else to show to them how beautiful your wings is. And I really hope that everyone has benefit in a way about my sharing why mentorship matters in Toastmaster. Back to you, Organizing Chairperson Melody Lee.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Munir Mohamad. Wow, that was a really inspiring and enlightening 20 minutes from you. And well done. Everyone, please give him another virtual round of applause. Yay! Yes, I do agree with you, Munir. So, mentors and mentees, now we know that they have some qualities that they actually have. And now I'm doing my reflection. So, as a mentor, did I actually bring my mentee out for a meal? And did I invite them for club hopping? So, these are the things that we are continue to do reflection and continue to develop ourselves as a mentor and also for our self-development. And now there is also a saying that experience is the teacher of all things. Coming up next, we shall introduce our distinguished club members for the experience sharing session. They used to serve the club as executive committee, the president, the organizing chairperson for the installation, and then some even go up to division, to the district governor. Then they never left the club because they continue learning through giving speeches, evaluations, and of course, mentoring the new members. Ladies and gentlemen, now please give another massive round of applause to the first speaker of this experience sharing session, distinguished Toastmaster Jasmine Leong.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Is someone spotlighting me? Am I spotlighted?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. And I'm going to share as well. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Munir, for that wonderful sharing. I was also trying to tick off in my, let me just put this on, tick off in my list whether I am doing what you're saying as well. Okay, is my slideshow on full? Okay, there it is. Oh, hang on. Okay. Okay, good evening once again, everybody. Just like Munir as well, I love mentoring and I love being a mentee all these years. But today I thought I would share something of my mentees in the beginning of my Toastmasters career. But before I do that, I just want to share with you something that I read from a John Maxwell book. I am now a John Maxwell fan, and in his book called Becoming a Person of Influence, he says this about mentoring, which I thought was really apt. And he says, giving people the motivation to grow without providing the means of doing it is a tragedy. But the mentoring process offers people the opportunity to turn their potential into a reality, their dreams into destiny. Mentors impact eternity because there is no telling where their influence will stop. So mentors, use this responsibility well and be responsible for your mentees because you never know the impact of mentoring. So I'm going to share with you of our KKTMC's Charlie's Angels. And this is actually not dubbed by anyone else, but by us, by ourselves. Between 2009 to 2013, this was actually taken during one of my birthday parties. I normally have themed birthday parties. And any chance we get during those 5 years, we would take a picture of us as Charlie's Angels. Now, this is basically Distinguished Toastmaster Joanna Liew and also past President Nora Rizwan. And this is our journey as mentees and as friends. So I was president of KK Toastmasters in 2009 to 2010. And then Nora was president 2010 to 2011. And Joanna was president 2011-2012. And between that, we went to so many district conventions back in those days, Indonesia, Sarawak, Brunei, and Sabah and Labuan were all in one district. And so we used to go to fly to Miri, Kuching, Indonesia, all that just for conventions. We were also involved, because I was the OC for the KK 2012 convention. They were also my anchors in the organizing committee of that as well. And in 2013, they won some district awards when I was already not in the district scene. And why am I singing their praises about the district awards? Is because I think your mentees are supposed to supersede you. And I think we should aim for that. You know, as a mentor, if your mentees can supersede you in whatever field they are in, then you are a successful mentor. So this is something, just a few walk down memory lane. This was in Miri when we performed our musical in front of over, I don't know, 300-400 people in the Toastmasters convention, and it was a KKTMC's 20 years celebration. This is us again, not with our Charlie's Angels pose, but I took this picture because both Nora and Joanna won the Toastmaster of the Year for the club that year during my term. So we took a picture there. And this is, of course, one of our musicals that we did during the installation. This was, of course, Joanna's presidential installation as well. So Nora was handing it over to Joanna. I was the MC. And this was the Grease musical that we did during the installation, as well as during the 2012 convention. And this is them again during the district awards. And we took a picture because they were thanking me, I think, for as their mentor. And I was so proud of them. So Nora was voted District 2013 Toastmaster of the Year. And Joanna was voted Area Governor of the Year. And during that same year, I became Distinguished Toastmaster as well. So it was a great year to end sort of our realm of Charlie's Angels before we handed it over to the next batch of leaders in Toastmasters. So this is just a little bit of fun. We would always do our musical rehearsals at my home. And this is us as well during Halloween, Mamma Mia musical rehearsal. This was when we were trying to be super troopers. And this was actually our final Charlie's Angels pose at the 2014 installation, because after that, everyone was busy doing other things as well outside of Toastmasters. So why have I put it all up? It's because I want to share with you my mentoring journey with them through some turning points throughout the 5 years. Now, I mean, you look at all those photos and you think, wow, you know, so fun. And it was, everyone, we were smiling all the time. And yes, we did have so much fun. I'm sure Joanna will attest to it later on as well. We did have so much fun. But was the mentoring relationship always good and smooth? Of course not. Did we disagree? Of course. Did we argue? Did we fail to back each other up at times? Of course. But did we grow each other? Yes. Did we build each other to become better versions of ourselves? Definitely. And so our mentoring relationship wasn't so much a mentor to a mentee, but I think it was more of a life on life mentoring. And that's what I want to share with you on the points tonight through our mentoring journey. First thing, TM roles and speeches. Now for these two, Nora and Joanna, my mentoring style with them was very much learning and growing together as a team. And as a mentor, I was very quick to identify their strengths and focus on building that. And that is something as a mentor, I would recommend that you quickly learn. Basically, quickly identify their strengths. For example, I pushed Joanna to be the lead in my first musical, Toastmasters Spring, in 2009 for my installation, even though at that time I didn't even know whether she could sing or dance. I just knew that she was very animated and young and enthusiastic and bubbly, and I wanted that character in my musical, so I just pushed her in. Secondly, I knew Nora's strength was her dancing because we were ballet classmates before, and that's how I knew her. And so performance wasn't an issue. And so I put her in charge of choreography for all my musicals. And on the leadership side, I even invited Nora to accompany me to Labuan when I was area governor, way back when. I see our division governor, Susanna, here as well. And yes, from Labuan, right? So I was actually the area governor of that time, and I visited Labuan, and I brought Nora along because she was the current president of KK Toastmasters, and she was going to become the next area governor. So this is also part of mentoring. You let them do live with you on Toastmasters Matters. Bring them along. If you're going to go to a district convention, make sure they come along with you. If you're going to visit a club, bring them along with you. So it's life upon life and growing together. They had their own styles in their way of their speeches. And I think it is really important, like what Munir said earlier, as a mentor, to allow them to develop their own style and not wanting them to write or speak like you, but to write and speak like them. So build that up instead of molding them to become a second you. That's I really like what Munir said about don't be respectful with their speeches and don't rewrite the speeches for them. So number one is build on their strengths. Look for their strengths. Everyone has them. Every mentee has them, and build that. And that's exactly what we did. The second turning point in our KKTMC Charlie's Angels mentoring relationship was a 2011 installation meeting. I put that at the hospital because Joanna, I don't know whether you remember this, but because Nora had contracted dengue that time, and she was recovering in the hospital, but it was so close to the installation that we had to come up with a date for the installation banquet. And Joanna was the incoming, Nora was going to be outgoing, and I was the mentor and the MC, so we had to meet in the hospital. And it was a really interesting conversation because it's the first time that we had to meet in the hospital and was also enthusiastic. And I remember being the intermediary and ensuring that, both sides of interest was looked at and making sure that the installation would come across well. At one point, I think, because not all the excos were going to be present on the suggested dates, I think one of them almost said, okay, we do separate installations, or, I won't be present, I'll be on video. And I said, no, that cannot happen. Both of you must be present. It is both installations and outstallation, both as interesting as each other. You have to be present. So the second tip I want to share is always be ready to step in to guide, to help, and to encourage. Always be prepared to step in as the intermediary, even if it's between your two mentees. The third one is, of course, our KK 2012 convention. And that was, I think, for us, we all grew exponentially out of all the roles we played, because as well as responsibility, because for the first time we were in charge of not just one club of 30, 40 members, but we were in charge of a whole convention with 300 participants from everywhere. And I think you can safely say that our growth just shot up incredibly. And because of that, they were roped into the district team under our district governor, Richard Gondasan at the time. And it was a huge convention for us because it was the first time we were installing our very own KK Toastmaster as district governor, Richard, and it was going to be held in KK. So that was one of the biggest things. And so for that one, the tip is raise their level of living, constant growth. If you want your mentees to grow with you, bring them to challenging positions and challenging roles that has never been done before. Push them in and then watch them swim to victory. So after all that, these are my 3 tips as a mentor and as part of our growth as well. And by the way, for those of you, hang on. By the way, for those of you who are mentors, you should also be a mentee of some sort. Because even as a distinguished Toastmaster, for myself, for example, I may not have a specific member as a mentor in KKTMC anymore, but I'm learning from other people constantly, from John Maxwell as part of his training team, from other trainers and speakers in the district as well. And I still have my spiritual mentors as well in church and personal life too, my dad, my mom. So continue to have mentors in your life. And I think that's really important because we have to continue to grow and develop on our own as well. So where are they now? So this just happened, and I was the MC for BBN is Ballet by Nora. So Nora now has her own studio, ballet studio. I was her MC for the first Ballet by Nora Gala in November 19. And of course, I was there when Distinguished Toastmaster Joanna received her Distinguished Toastmaster Award. And the the funny thing about this, besides that I was wearing the same dress, was that for both events, I was actually not able to go. I was actually not supposed to be there even, because for the BBN Gala, this was a week before I was supposed to perform on stage for my Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. So I was really, really busy and I almost couldn't make it, but I said yes, because it was her first gala and I could not let her down. Similarly with Joanna's Distinguished Toastmaster event as well, I was her evaluator, and it was her graduation. But I had a back pain. I almost couldn't sit down. I couldn't sit down. I couldn't stand up. But I braved myself to go because I said I cannot miss this. These are the moments that, as a mentor, if you've seen your mentees grow until that pivotal moment, that you just cannot miss. So mentors, listen up. It is not just a Toastmaster journey the journey never stops there, like what Munir said as well. But at moments when they need you, you need to be there. Come rain or shine, just be there. So finally, for myself, like I said before as well, as a mentor, you must continue growing, because as what John Maxwell says, you can only, okay, let me see what he said here. I'm going to read it out so that I don't miss it. And I'm going to find it in my notes because it is such a good one. You can only grow so much. And you can only grow your mentees as far as you are growing. If you want them to become more, you have to continue growing as well. And I'll come back to you on that quote because I can't find it in my notes because I've spoken so much already. So continue growing as a person as well. And only then can your mentees grow with you. So I hope that helps with my sharing. And I hope you're inspired to also find your own stories of your wonderful mentees and your mentor stories as well. And on that note, I'm going to hand it back over to our organizing chairperson, Melody.
Hi, thank you very much for your personal sharing, Jasmine. Yes, we all know that the benefits and what are the qualities, but really nothing comes real without experience, right? And we see a lot of success stories from your side. And now we would like to have our next speaker to share her experience as well. And she is none other than the Distinguished Toastmaster, Joanna Liew.
Hello, everyone. Today, thank you very much. I think today everyone hears a lot about mentoring and about different stories and all this. So I hope everyone have some, insight or tips that how you can move forward from here. So today for me, I don't have slides, but what I can do is I'm going to share I think I'm in Toastmasters for about 12 years, if I'm not wrong. If I'm not wrong, I think I lose track after a while. But in my 12 years of journey in Toastmasters, I've been through quite a few mentoring experience, mentor-mentee experience. So today I'm just going to share with you some of those or my journey throughout this 12 years. And maybe from there, you can pick up some of the things that you think, oh, I should avoid, or maybe some of the things that you think, I think I should take note, and then you write down. So there's no slides for you because I think everyone have different ways of seeing what they want to note down. So I'm just going to share, and then you are the one who make the decision. What do you want to note down or improve on, or things that you want to take note of? Okay, so like the whole workshop said from the beginning, mentoring is a two-way street, right? So I went and researched for a bit, and it says that mentoring is a mutuality that requires more than meeting the right teacher, but also the teacher must meet the right student. So that is what already says enough about the two-way street. So for me, I feel that at the end of my 12th year, finding the right mentor is very important. but being the right mentee is also very important. So I started my journey in Toastmasters in 2008. So at that time, all our Toastmasters, our seniors are very, very senior and very, very established. I think for those of you who are here quite long, you will know, very, very, very long time. So all of them are they already reached a certain status in life where they are already quite, settled, stable. So my mentor was distinguished Toastmaster Yi Takian. Very funny guy, very witty guy. So he was my mentor. And that time, I have to say, I'm not a very good mentee. And he was a very seasoned Toastmasters, but at that time, I don't really blame them. I like how our environment right now, because everyone is learning from each other. But during those time, 12 years back, right, everyone was already to a certain level. So I think to them, they already feel that, you should know what to do lah. So he will always answer everything that I ask if I ask him. So if I got things that I'm like, maybe I should ask him. So I ask him, then he will reply me. But if I don't, then nothing really comes back. So this you can see from my first mentoring experience. It was, if I ask, then I get. If I don't ask, then don't have long. So I think this is one thing that everyone must try. Try your best to avoid. So if you ask, and then as a mentor, try to guide them and not wait for them to ask, because sometimes they are very shy. Like me, that time I wanted to disturb him, but I feel very stressed because he's like, he must be busy with his pharmacy lah. Then he must be doing this or doing that. So I don't want. So maybe sometime at this point, the mentor would be a better person to start off first. Because once you start off, then the mentee will know that, I can look for him, I can look for her. Just like what Munir said, always tell your mentee, you are one text away. How can you help? Or what can you contribute to them if they need anything? So at least they have an idea. Otherwise, most of the most of the new members, when they come, the first thing they'll say, but I'm very scared. They are very seasoned. They are very what. That's normally the perception of the new members. So maybe this is one thing that both sides have to take note of. So and then that time, I don't really know what I want as well. So I just follow lah. So I was very lucky. I have an unofficial mentor, which is Jasmine. Jasmine was my president. And then I have another partner in crime, which is Nora. So she always tells, okay, you do this. At that time, I just follow lah. She say I do, she say I do. So that was how lucky for me is she knows where's my strength, and she know how to push to make sure that I grow from there. So that is indirectly, I was pushed without knowing that I was pushed. So I just said, do. So this is another style. So this is something that you can kind of focus on mentees who are not sure what they want. But because you know what's their strength, where their strength is, or where their weakness is, then you can work on it. So as a mentor, if you can see this, then you can direct them to the direction that you think at that point they need the most. So I think this is something throughout my journey, I will break it down for you so you can see every mentor, how do they actually lead me to where I am today. So that's what happened. So along the way, I learned, I am still a very bubbly girl, animated and bubbly, but then I can control when do I want to be animated, when do I need to be serious. Before that, I couldn't. I must tell you from the start, if you were there, like when I was president, right, I actually purposely push down my bubbly character and try to be very calm all the time. So it was a very stressful moment, that one whole term, but it trained me to go to a very different level after that one term. So this is something that I learned throughout the whole mentoring journey. So then I did my speeches, I play my leadership role, and after a while, right, because like I mentioned, I wasn't really clear what to do as a mentee. So I also don't really know what to do as a mentor. And then during that time, our club was really shooting up. So people are just like, can you be the mentor? Or okay, so I be. So because I'm not a very good mentor, so you can see that during that time, all my mentees just come and go. So please don't be a mentor like that, okay? Learn from mistake. Please don't repeat this like me. So during that time, I have a lot of mentee coming in, go out, come in, go out. After a while, I cannot remember who actually was my mentee and what actually I taught them. I just taught them what I know. Whatever, I just teach. That was what happened. So one thing that I can give a recommendation to mentors or mentors to be, please know what you are learning now as a mentee and observe your mentor, because that is the only way for you to learn how to be a mentor moving forward. Because there's not every term there will be a president that said, let's do a mentor workshop, you know. So maybe this is some of the place that you actually can see how to be a better mentor. So then I actually went to division level. I was the division governor at that time. Just before I became division, I actually met my mentor, which is like that mentor that actually changed my life, and which is Monica. I know some of you don't really know who Monica is. She's a Toastmaster, moved in from Taiwan. She relocated to KK and then fortunately came into my club, and then came to our club, and then that's where we became friends and all this. So she guided me through, because she was a past division governor in her district as well. So that's how I got to know her. And this mentor is a very different mentor from all the mentors that I know. Either they would direct me directly to the direction that I'm supposed to go to, or they would just wait for me to ask. But this is a very, very special one to me, because she never tell me what to do. She just asked, why? Everything I said, I want to do this. Why? Why, yeah? Why? Then every time I'm like, why, yeah? What's so weird one, this mentor? So then that time I was asked to be the division governor. Do you want to run for division governor? So I said, why? So in the end, I decided to be a division governor. And because I decided to be a division governor, she grilled me for 2 weeks. Really 2 weeks. Every night I have to go to her house from 8 until 12. Every night she'll ask me the same question. Why do you want to be division governor? What is your purpose? I was like, what? I want to be Lord. I said, no, you must find your purpose. You must find about drill. So many why, until I question myself, what's wrong with my division? But because of her, that actually made me ask myself, why do I want to join Toastmasters? Like really, because a lot of the people, they say the same thing. After 3-4 years, from what I observed, after 3-4 years, they will all say, oh, I've already learned everything I need in Toastmasters. I can move on and do other things. But why are people like, Ravi, Jasmine, Sue, Susanna, a lot of us are staying here for like 10 years. You're not bored. Actually, when I was halfway through my division term, I wanted to quit as a Toastmaster. Straight after division, I said, enough already. I've learned everything. Then she said, why? Again, Lord? Why? I was like, huh? When you think that you have learned to your maximum already, actually that is the time that you can get to learn more. She said. So I was like, oh, is it? It is the time that you give back. So I said, okay. Then I tried to apply what she teach me through asking why, because when she keep asking why, I find my purpose. I really find my purpose. And that day or that year, I actually was like a reborn Toastmaster. After that thing, I think that time was after my 9 year. I feel like I'm like, I finally know that I joined Toastmasters is not because of my dad, because I first joined because my dad asked me, you must join, so I joined. So now I know it's not because of my dad, it's because for me, myself. So I want to be a better version for myself. And then by doing that, right, I hope that I can inspire my members or my mentees to be a better version of not me, a better version of themselves. And then from there, then they can inspire others. So one thing that I learned is that once you find the purpose, right, then you will never give up Toastmasters. So from then onwards, no matter how tired, no matter how packed my schedule, if they say, I need you to help me to do this because of this. Then I was like, yeah, should be, can. Then I will do it because I know it's for the better version of me and for them. So I will do it. So I find the purpose already. So one thing that I maybe want to ask, who is actually the timer? Why suddenly red one? Okay, but all right. So one thing that she really helped me to find is the purpose. So one thing that I can encourage all the mentors when you have your first meeting with your mentees, right? Uh, Besides telling them how to move about and how to do this, do that in Toastmaster, how to log into the website, what is a pathway and all this. One thing I think that's very important for you to embed, or how do I say, put down to your mentee is ask them what is their purpose of joining, or what is there a purpose? There must be some reason why they want. And once you find that, right, then you will understand. Then they will understand the things that you want them. You tell them the things that you advise them. Then they will have a purpose. And after a while, you have to increase their purpose. Like Jasmine said, you have to like bring them up, bring them up. So every time you have to keep asking them questions. So this is one thing that I learned as a mentor. So all this while, right, then people will ask me, hey, so is it, then after you have this, does it mean that all your journey in mentoring is smooth sailing and all this? So then, to be very honest, to tell everyone, it is not as like, oh, once you know how to be a mentor, then the whole relationship will definitely be always smooth sailing. Not really, because your mentee might not have the same expectation as you or the same vision as you. Some of the mentee, they just want to achieve this. Once they achieve, then they say, okay, I'm done. Then they will go. Then you serve your purpose as a mentor. But you also learn something in the process. So the greatest thing as a mentor you can give to me is not the knowledge, is your time. Because all the mentor, right, they are so busy with so many things. You ask Jasmine lah, she got so many things to do, like super duper busy. And then Munir is on shift, so sometimes 3 in the morning, people sleeping, he's working. Or when you think that he's free, he's not. He's actually sleeping because he got no sleep. So these are the things that, what they give you is their time. So as a mentee, the one thing that I can encourage you to give back to your mentor is respect their time and respect all the effort that they try to give to you. Because instead of spending on you as a mentee, they have so many people they can help, because the club doesn't only have one member, they have so many. But because you two already have a relationship, they are already putting in their commitment to help you. So as a mentee, put in the commitment to also try your best to work towards your goal. Because in the end of the day, the goal is yours, it's not the mentor. The mentor is there to help you to achieve your goal. So I think that's one thing. So along the years, but one thing until today, I think I have to close already. One thing I have to share with everyone that I have learned, and actually is a very difficult learning journey for me, is number one, as a mentor, don't give them the answer straight away. It's a very difficult journey for a mentor, actually, if you ask all mentors, because they already have all the answer. It's so easy to just tell you, oh, do that, you do this, do this, do this. But sometimes we just have to like spend 1 hour. Why do you think is this? Why, yeah? Or maybe I'll ask this question and then try to get you to think of the answer. So that is actually, as a mentor, the hardest for me, the hardest learning curve that I learned as a mentor. So that's number one. And then number two, sometimes because we already learn a lot. So don't put your standard to your mentees. Some of them may be, when they come in, they're already like professional, they're already like 10 years in the business. So when they come in and talk to you, you have the same value. So you can have the same expectation. But some just came out from university. They have no idea how to write a speech. They have no idea a lot of things. So don't put your standard on them, but always think from their point of view. I made a lot of mistake when I was first mentoring a few younger mentees, and I put my standard. Why can't you be like that? Why? But then I realized, right, it's really not about you, okay? It's about them. So if they have a problem, but then after 2 months they reduce by half, it's a big win for you already as a mentor, and a big win for your mentee. So be grateful for all these little things and set an expectation or set a target that all that your mentee can actually achieve and be happy, and also having that encouragement to move one step forward. That's as a mentor. So as a mentee, I'm very happy that I'm not only having mentor from other places, but I'm also my mentee's mentee. So a lot of times, right, my mentee is giving me a lot of information, a lot of things that I have no idea. So I'm like, oh, I'm learning so many things from my mentee, so good. So every time I got problem, I'll just ask, so how? Then they'll come and help me. So that's also one thing of where I learn as a mentee on leadership, because you can see all of them has different strength in leadership, and you can learn so much from them. So just don't think of them as, oh, my mentee, my mentee. But actually your mentee can also teach you a lot if you observe. So that is my sharing, my mentoring sharing for 12 years. So I hope that from all my different mentors, you can see what are the things that you can take and what are the things that you should avoid. I hope that this experience help you in your mentoring journey as well. So back to you. Who is that? MC, Melody.
Thank you very much for your invaluable sharing, distinguished Toastmaster Joanna. For your information, Joanna is also my mentor, and she has asked me a lot of whys throughout my 3 years in Toastmasters. And also, yes, I took up this role as VPE because I was actually a secretary first, and then the treasurer, and then the VPE this term. And how did I become the secretary of the club? It was because part of them was because of Joanna's motivation as well. She would ask me, why do you choose to be secretary? Because you want to learn something else? Okay, why? What else? So, and I think one of the reasons that I stay in Toastmasters is not just to continue learning to be a better public speaker, but also to improve in my leadership skills. So this is, and also I can learn more from my members and my mentees and my mentors. So thank you very much again for this Toastmaster, your sharing. It's really a gem. So now everyone, this is the Q&A time. So any one of you who like to raise questions for our speakers, you may post in the chat box or text me personally. So while you're compiling the questions, we already have collected a number of questions from the audience. So may we have Jasmine to address these questions first?
I'll just read out the questions.
Yeah, we already have some.
Yeah. Read out the questions. Okay. We had some very interesting questions actually. So I will answer and then I will hand it over to Joanna and Munir as well to answer the rest if you feel it hasn't been answered. Number one, how do you deal with difficult mentees? As in mentees who are unresponsive and don't want to improve themselves. My answer, they have joined the wrong organization. or joined for the wrong reasons. I think you've heard from Munir, myself, and Joanna already as well, that when established from the start, what is their objectives and what is their goal? What is their intention? Start with what is their purpose instead of feeding them with information about Toastmasters, because their purpose could be totally different from what you think. For Nora and Joanna, for example, they both wanted to reach DTM status. One has done so, Joanna, yay, yes, finally, after 12 years, right? Don't worry, I took like 15 years. Nora had also had that ambition, but her career in ballet took a different route and she had to make a decision to focus on that one first. But did you know that when she started Ballet by Nora, she kept Tuesdays as a day off so that she can come to KK Toastmasters meetings? So you see, I mean, that intention was still there, you know, to finish DTM. So my answer to that is, if they are unresponsive and don't want to improve themselves, they've either joined the wrong organization or you haven't established their purpose from the start. Yeah, so establish that first, it will save everyone a lot of time. Okay, second question, and now I'll hand it over to either Munir or Joanna to answer. Number two is how to bring out the best potential of a mentee. I think we answered that already, right?
I would like to Joanna to answer that.
Okay, Joanna. How to bring out the best potential?
Okay, how to bring out? I think is to first understand what is the level of your mentees first, and what do they want. or what, like what Jasmine said, what do they expect from this? And then you as a mentor, since you're a little bit longer than them, they will be able to see some potential that they might miss out themselves. So that is where you start pushing them. It's just like how Jasmine see that I'm very proper, besides the musical part, but she knows that I'm an auditor. My professors are very good in number. So she started to push me to be treasurer of the club. And then suddenly I become the treasurer for the district convention. I'm like, oh, why like that one? And then move forward and then push me to be OC for the welcome night and all this. So this would say that you have to really see where your level of your mentee is and then push from there. Don't give them like when they first come in, suddenly you tell them you'll be president next year. a little bit too fast like for someone who are very timid, like that. So you need to know at first where are they, and then how much can you push them, because from your every time conversation with them, you kind of can see how far you can push their potential to, and then from there you move forward.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I just want to add as well that to identify their strengths again, encourage it, and then find opportunities in Toastmasters to let them try and fail and try again. Because in Toastmasters, right, it's a safe haven. Hardly any real consequences except a bruised ego lah, you know. But hardly any, yeah. So, okay, third question. Munir, what's the difference between a mentor and a coach?
What's the difference between mentor and a coach? For me, coach is someone that will be with you for a certain period, kind of. But mentor is someone beyond that, someone who you confide with. Mentor is someone who sacrifices time to make an effort towards you. It's a commitment actually. Yeah. For me, coach is only for a certain period, like no commitment. Coach is someone who's being paid, but mentor is not someone being paid. So I'm talking money right now.
I agree. Joanna, anything to add, or shall we carry on?
For coaching, like what Munir said, is more performance based. And then for mentoring is more on development driven. So it's the progress of the person that actually matters more than the performance. So the person can be from 100R for 1 minute to 50R. So maybe for performance, they were like not good enough. You should reduce to 20 by the end of the month. So that's performance driven. But for a development driven, for a mentor, then they will say, oh, it's so good. You reduce half in 2 months. Very good, very good, very good. So that's how they encourage to push forward. So I think so this is what I can say.
Yeah, that's true. In a nutshell, a coach is performance-based and skills-based. You can be a public speaking coach, but a mentor is life upon life. Yeah. So number 4, as a mentor, how do we train our mentee to think for themselves? I laugh when I read this. Let me just answer that first. I hope they have been thinking for themselves before you are their mentor, okay? Because you are only technically their Toastmaster mentor. So basic requirements, to help them, get them through their speeches, their roles, ensure they stay active in the club, grow their communication and leadership skills. But they should already be thinking for themselves way before and should continue thinking for themselves. Yeah, I hope. Anything to add, Munir and Joanna?
For me, I'm actually more worried for members who are really fresh graduate coming in, like me lah. I'm second generation Toastmaster. When I was in Toastmaster, I have no idea. I only know I have to go in because my dad said you have to go. You will improve your public speaking skills. I'm like, okay. So I went. So going into it, I think how to train them to think for themselves is by asking the right questions. Not just ask questions, but asking the right questions to direct them to the right answer, or the answer that they are looking for. Because Jasmine is already targeting people who already know come in, because I think most of our members today come in, you have to pay back. So when you come in, you must know what you are hoping that you can get from the club. But if for people who are second generation Toastmaster like me, who was kicked into the club, my dad paid my membership that time, maybe if, as a mentor, when you find mentees like this, you need to kind of direct them to ask, okay, what do you already coming in, whether you like it or not? So what do you want to get from here? Maybe from there, you by asking them the right question, then they will see, so what can Toastmasters give to you? And maybe from there, they will be able to identify, okay, I want to try this route or this route or this route. Then from there, it will help you to avoid difficult mentees in the end. I think that is a very, very something that I can share.
That's great. That's great. Okay. Number 5, as a mentee, how do I best benefit from having a mentor? Just meetings with mentors or anything else? I think this one we have answered already through our sharings. You can see that it's more than just at the meetings, and it's really it's a two-way street. If you want more, and if you can click with your mentor as a friend, even better. Another clause I want to say as well, if you don't get along with your mentor or the chemistry is just not there, it's okay. It's okay to ask for a change, because not everyone clicks with everybody, and that's okay. That's not your fault. That's not the mentor's fault. Just ask for a change so that you both can grow at a pace that you're comfortable with. You can't be friends with everybody lah. Yeah, and it's okay. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say. Number 6, Munir, this is for you. As a mentee, how do we balance the need to get a mentor's approval and the risk of making our own decisions? I think we also answered that.
In my opinion, there's nothing, there's no right or wrong on this part. In my experience, if I'm not so sure myself, even I ask a second opinion on this just to balance it out. Yeah. Sometimes I will reach out to Joanna. Sometimes I will reach out to Jasmine also. Just ask them. Yeah.
Joanna?
How do we balance the need to get mentors' approval, right? You don't have to get their approval because the decision in the end is yours. But what can they give you is suggestion. But so make your own suggestion, make your own decision, and you don't have to please your mentor. I think this is one thing that sometimes even when I was a mentee, I was like, okay, because my mentor says that, so even if I'm not comfortable, I will still go for it because my mentor says so. But then at the end of the day, you are the one who made the decision. So I think I made a very painful decision, or I had a painful experience when I listened to my mentor 100%. I think that was the time when I was division governor lah. Susanna will know on the incident of our division council meeting where I have 7 area governor, 5 stood out and 10 people.
Whoa.
Because I listened to my mentor too much. Her decision, her suggestion was very good, but it's not really applicable for us during that time because we are not ready for that change. So I learned a very painful lesson that time. Susanna was there, so she can vouch for it. How painful was that? So one thing that I would hope from a mentor's perspective is that when the mentee made a certain decision that differs from the mentor's suggestion, right? It would be good that you can share your perspective with your mentor. So this is what I feel is quite important as a mentor that I want to know, because number one, I will be able to understand why my mentor think that way or how my mentor thinks. So then next time when you continue to mentor them, you know where their thinking hat is, then it'll be easier for you guys to have a better conversation, a better communication. And then number 2, the mentor can also learn a different way of thinking, because sometimes we think that we know everything, we have so many different ways of thinking. So that's number 1. But one thing we have to bear in mind as a mentor is don't be overly aggressive. Before, I have mentees that I would kind of overpower them, so they feel very scared to tell me they don't want to follow my suggestion. So I'm like, why? I was very angry. And why? But then I think this is something that we as a mentor, you have to learn, because we are all NGO. So we have to, give and take all this no, or this disagreement as a learning journey for all of us. I think that's it.
Yeah, exactly. For me, your mentor is not your keeper, only a guide. I think of it as just like a mountain guide. They don't carry you up, right? You have to take that step. And if you're not sure if that's the right way, then you ask. But don't go, hey, mentor, can you write a speech for me? And then I will just memorize it and then I can learn from there. Yeah. So make your own decisions and your mentor is only a guide. Okay, we have a few more questions, but do you want to go to questions from the floor instead? Madam OC? Yeah.
Yes, Jasmine. So actually there is a question, what's the difference between mentoring and coaching? I think this is something that we already discussed. And then there is another question, how do I know if I am ready to become a mentor? How do I know if I'm ready to mentor someone else? Or is it?
In my opinion, you never know.
Anytime, right?
Never ready.
Or your mentor trick you to become a mentor.
Oh,
I think in Toastmasters standard, they already have you have to reach certain level of speeches or leadership role for you to be a mentor. That is the textbook punya standard lah. But to be honest, I think all of us know that no one is ever ready to be a mentor. So just
I don't think you're ever ready, but because Toastmasters guides you so well, and because a mentor is supposed to be just a guide. So as long as you finish level 3, you can guide someone who is at level 1. And the way Toastmasters work is if you teach it, you learn it twice. When you teach it, you learn it twice. So think of it as if I take it as a mentee, not because I know everything, but because I've already gone through it and I get to learn it twice, then you're more willing to become a mentor. Yeah, and that's part of Toastmasters learning journey, growth journey. That's why they push you to become mentors early on, instead of waiting until you're a distinguished Toastmaster, which will be like 10 years and nobody will be mentors. So think of it as if you teach it, you get to learn it twice. I think that's the best way of putting it, because we're all continue learning, right?
yes.
I do have another question here. I want to ask it because it's quite funny. I find it quite funny. The question is, every successful man, there is a woman behind him. Is the woman a mentor? Yes. No, I'm kidding. Okay, I'll answer that first and I'll hand it over to Joanna and Munir. For me, behind every success, there's a team. And that team involves a mentor, but not only a mentor. Yeah, we all know that no person can succeed on their own, right? Nor can they depend on just one person to succeed. Just like it takes a village to bring up a child, it takes a whole club to bring up a Toastmaster. So a mentor is only part of the journey and not your only source either. Yeah. And also, a mentor doesn't bring you through the whole journey, I mean, like what Joanna said, I was only involved in the 5 years. And after that, when she became division governor already, she had another mentor. And so you keep changing mentors as you grow in your life as well. And that's okay. Some people say, I feel so bad, I want to change mentor now because of whatever reason, not because I don't like them, but because I'm going somewhere different. And it's okay. And you're supposed to change mentors. Yeah, some people think they have to stick with a mentor for life. No lah. And mentors don't take it personally. You should encourage them. To change mentors as they grow.
One thing that I learned is, like, after a while, right, the mentor is no longer mentor-mentee, but mentor-mentor. It's really become that, and then slowly you become like a relationship, a friendship. Then you grow together, and then while you're mentoring other people, I think that should be that is what I see as a healthy mentorship.
That should be the goal, lah, kan?
Yeah.
Like Joanna and I now, lah.
Kawan.
Kawan.
Yes.
All right, thank you. And I think this is something that Joanna and I, sometimes we come up for yum cha session, or we just go to a pretty cafe to take photos and and to chit chat a bit. And I think that's how we can build some more relationships on that. The next question, the mentor should proactive and befriend the mentee. Yes, that's what we were talking about. But at what level we should be, since some of the mentee will think that we are prying or meddling with their business. So at what level we should be, since some of the mentee will think that we are prying or meddling with their business. In my opinion, I think that it is like what Joanna just said, just build relationship instead of being too aggressive. Is that true, Joanna?
My one thing that I learned from the Brunei Toastmasters is, because I noticed that Brunei comes up with a lot of very competent speakers. So I asked them, how do you actually mentor them, or how do you actually build your members to be this? Because some of them may be just a few months, but they're already very different in terms of their growth and all this. So I asked them, then they told me, oh, our mentoring is not just about Toastmasters. We talk about other things. We talk about life, we talk about work, talk about their relationship, their family background. Then I was like, huh? You're prying into people's life. But then I tried my first thing is with Melody. I give that a try with Melody. Actually, before Melody was Moses lah. Then Moses, found girlfriend, then left. So like, no more. so the next one was Melody. And then when Melody and I went out for the first time, I actually asked her a lot of things besides like, what is your goal in Toastmasters and all that? What do you hope to achieve and all that? I asked her a little bit about her background, because I noticed I actually never asked this question throughout my whole 12 years in Toastmasters, besides those that we already worked like a long time together that we know. But other members, right, I don't even know what they work as and all this. So I started with Melody and asked a few questions. Then I noticed that because I get to know her background a little bit, about her work, about her relationship, about her family and all this, I understand why she acted certain way during her speech presentation, or why she makes certain decision when she's doing a certain leadership role. So that actually got me to understand her a little bit better, and to give me the opportunity to help her a little bit better. I won't say pride. I think that balance, how much you have to ask, it will really be depending on your relationship with your mentee. But a basic background understanding, I think it's quite crucial for you to be able to help them. If let's say my mentee is someone who is financially challenged, I didn't know, push them to go for speech contest, area contest. Then in the end, instead of pushing the person to be the speaker that everyone thinks that they can become, they got so stressed out because you're always pushing them. They cannot travel. Then they were, I'm so stressed, so I leave the club, So maybe understand them a little bit better will be good for you to make a good mentoring journey for both of you as well. That's what I think.
Don't ask your mentee what's your weight.
Sorry?
Your mentee what's
Don't
your
ask your mentee how heavy you are.
Yeah.
How light. Yeah.
How light
Basically all about relationships now. Yeah, you won't be prying if that person's already your friend. Yeah, and you genuinely care for them. So I think go into the relationship or the mentoring thing as you care for them, you value them, you care for them, and go from that instead of, okay, I need to find out everything about their life so that I can be a great mentor. Like what Joanna said, it's not about you, it's about them. So go into the relationship thinking what do they need, what do they want, and value them as a person. I have another question here, if I can ask that, Melody.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah.
How do mentors track our progress? Again, I'm like, it's not for them to track your growth progress. It's for you to track your own growth progress. It is not the mentor's responsibility to make you grow. You hold that responsibility. Yeah. Anybody else want to add?
Yeah. I think the mentors, they don't track, but they can maybe just prompt them the question from time to time. So how do you see Toastmasters now? And what have you learned? What do you think you have learned? Anything that have improved from the past 1 month or 1 year? To prompt the question so that they can reflect, and then they maybe can, ask them to do a journal. It doesn't have to be a daily journal or maybe monthly journal, or whenever they feel like they've learned something, journal it down, and then you'll see the progress. How about Munir? What do you think?
Me and my mentee, usually we don't track each other. We stalk each other in Instagram. And then we gossip about it. And I really don't track them. I think everyone is at their own pace. For some Toastmaster, 6 years in Toastmaster, they already like have 3 DTM. So I don't pace. I don't pace my mentee. Yep.
But at the beginning of
Yeah.
your meetup, right? They already kind of let you know what do they want to achieve. Let's say they say, I want to be level 2 by end of the term. So if it's already 8 months into the term and then they only did like one speech, and maybe you can just like, I won't say we'll keep track, but more like just to prompt, 4 more months until year end. So where do you want to go? Because I think the goal is there for you to keep track. So maybe they have some problems that we have no idea. So from there, you'll be able to see where is their need, or they need people to push you. I even saw some of the people will say from the beginning, they will ask, okay, if next time you are being lazy, how do you want me as a mentor to nudge you? Do you want me to call you? Do you want me to like nag you? Or you want to just leave me alone? How? So then they will already kind of know how the mentee address issues like this. Then they will also be able to come to a balance. If they say, never mind, just leave me alone, then it's a bit too much life like that. What's the point of having someone to guide you through, right? Then they will have to negotiate to a certain level, then they can move forward together. I think this is some of the
Okay, thank you for your sharings. We also have another question. If there is no new questions, then this will be the last question of this evening. My club, this is from VPE of a club. My club has no seasoned Toastmaster, so most of us are new, which is less than 2 years. So what can a VPE do to push this mentorship program to mentors and mentees? Please share some tips with this. How can the VPE of the club push this mentorship program to the members?
One thing, like when I was attending all the district conference and all that, so I saw how Brunei did it, and then I bring back the culture and start. So I think one thing the VPE can do is go to, if you have Toastmasters, the club may be new, but then we have so many Toastmasters from different clubs that you can actually get some experience, or you can ask. It's not like we're different club, then we cannot ask. So you can always ask the people that you want them, maybe, can you help? What can we do? Where can we start? Or you can observe how they do it and then start something. If you want to be fast, if you want it to grow, the mentor program to grow faster, then it would be good that the culture is formed faster. So what I can suggest is, like, last time I have a HPL program where I wanted to revive a club. So instead of focusing on the president, I get the exco to work with me together. Susanna was also in that polytechnic. So yeah, we had a lot of fun together that time, reviving old clubs. So if you want to change a culture, if you want to build a culture, then group your exco together and start the mentoring each other first, with each other. Because when people see a certain chemistry within a small group of people, then they will say, hey, I want to try that too. That's where you can start to spread the culture. But when first, what you want to do is, if you can get them to maybe talk to another club that you find their mentoring program is doing very well, then maybe have a collaboration and ask them to give you some tips how you can work forward, then bring back to your club and implement, and then start from there. This is something that I can advise for a new club or new members.
Yep. Just to add on to that one, if they cannot find other Toastmasters, for example, and they want to just mentor within their club, like what I said, if you're already 2 years, you should have done at least level 1, right? At least, or level 2. So then you can mentor the next level 1. everybody who is a level 2 can mentor a level 1. Or even you're level 1 and you've done your first icebreaker. Oh, can you mentor someone else to do an icebreaker? Yeah. Because why? You've been through that already. You can guide the person. Oh, this is how I did it. Maybe you can try that. So it's peer learning. Toastmasters is very much peer learning. I mean, when they first started in 1990 in KK, how did they start? You mentor each other, you try it out, and it's okay to try it out. And if you fall, it's okay because you're in Toastmasters where it is safe to fall. People won't push you down further. They will just, help you up again. So it's okay. Try it out. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Joanna and Jasmine. What our KKTMC does is we usually pair the new member with a mentor right before the icebreaker speech. So, of course, when they are a new member, they don't know what's going on, like what's my next step. So the VP is the one, and also the VPM. They are the ones to guide what's the next step to do. And also the VPE will introduce that these are the available mentors, or maybe to ask, who do you think is the right fit for you as a mentor? Who do you think you can learn from in the club? And for those who, just like what Jasmine said, for those who already achieved level 2, they already done the introduction to mentoring, to mentoring pathway level 2, right? So they basically know what a mentor is, what should a mentor does. So this is how the mentor and mentee can learn together. Even the mentor, they don't know how to answer questions for the mentee. They can ask around, even the president or anyone from in the club, or anyone outside the club, outside other Toastmasters club. Just continue learning, like what Jasmine said. So thank you very much for this question. And there's also another one new question, right? I think this should be the last one already. We're at 9:30. Can someone from one club be a mentor to someone from another? And what are the challenges? Can someone from one club be a mentor to someone from another? What are the challenges? I believe Joanna had a few mentors from overseas. So, so I don't think there is any other challenge as long as you two click, right?
Yeah, a mentor doesn't mean just one mentor. There's no hard and fast rule, like what Munir said earlier as well. And you don't just have one mentor, you have a few. Toastmasters just gives you that opportunity to say, hey, it'd be good to have a mentor to new members. And it's really up to you who you want to learn from. And you should have a few. You shouldn't just have one mentor. So it doesn't matter where they're from. If you can't find anyone in the club that you're in that you click with, then anyone else that you click with, ask them, learn from them. Don't think it matters.
Yes, I do agree. All right, so I think that's all. Any other add-ons from our speakers? Okay, if there is none, then I would like to encourage everyone to turn on your video because I would like to have a group photo. Yay. Right? So can we have Toastmaster Chuan to conduct this photo taking session?
Hi everyone, Toastmaster Chuan here. So if I may ask everyone to turn on your videos. Okay, if you're facing bad internet connection, we totally understand, but as many as possible. Okay. All right. Maybe some of us wants to put on our Zoom effects. Okay. I'll take one photo, our first photo, at the count of 3. Show us your best smiles. 1, 2, 3. Okay, hang on. Let me put it somewhere. Okay, I'll be taking our second photo. Everyone say mentee.
Oh, mentee.
Mentee.
Okay. All right, one final photo. Okay. Let's go freestyle. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I got that already. All right, thank you all for your cooperation. Back to you, OC Melody.
Thank you, Toastmaster Transiwan. Okay, so thank you for everyone's participation, and we hope that this mentorship workshop gives new perspectives to both the club mentors and the mentees. So we just have to remember that as mentors, the investment to others will actually have a multiplying effect. You are not just learning from your other peers, but also from your mentees, your mentees. For the mentees, personal growth without benefiting from a mentor will only take you so far. But with a right mentor, you'll soar higher and beyond with stronger wings. So before we end the workshop, please welcome the president of Kota Kinabalu Toastmasters Club, President Anita, for her closing remarks.
Thank you very much, Organizing Chair Lady Melody, for organizing this this workshop. And also thank you to all our speakers today, Munir for conducting the workshop, and also to DTM Jasmine Leong and Distinguished Toastmaster Joanna Liew for sharing their experience, such invaluable experience. So guys, please unmute yourselves and please, let's give them an audible thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Munir, Joanna.
Thank you very much to all of you guys. And also thank you to all our attendees today for spending your 2 hours of your evening. I think it's 2 hours, which is very well spent. And before we wrap up the evening, I would like to share, or rather to give a certificate of appreciation to our speakers today. First, we would like to give the certificate of appreciation to our main speaker today, Munir. Can we please have his certificate? Okay, great. Thank you, Munir. Congratulations, and thank you, Munir, for the speech and the workshop sharing earlier. Thank you very much, Munir. And next up, can I please hand a certificate of appreciation to Distinguished Toastmaster Jasmine Leong, please. Yay. Melody, are you sharing this? Sorry guys, technical error. Melody, are you sharing the sets?
Wait, if yes, if okay, let me try again. Sorry, I think Anita, can you can you share it instead?
Okay, Jasmine, thank you very much, Distinguished Toastmaster Jasmine, for the certificate. Hey.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you very much, Jasmine. And next up, can I also please have to share the certificate of appreciation to our next speaker? Sorry. Distinguished Toastmaster Joanna Liew. Joanna, please. Yay! Thank you very much, Joanna. Thank you for sharing your experience this evening with us. And also, last but not least, we have a certificate for our organizing chair lady, Melody Lee. Thank you very much,
Thank
Melody.
you.
Yay.
Thank you, President Anita.
Okay, great. Okay, guys, thank you for spending your 2 hours with us this evening. If I can just summarize it very, very shortly in a very, very succinct manner. Mentorship, being a mentor and being a mentee is a two-way street. It works only when both hands are willing to clap. With one hand, you cannot clap, right? This way you cannot. So it takes two people to come together to make a relationship work. And so please embrace this relationship so that we can all grow together. And also, like what Jasmine said earlier, it is a growth process for two people, for the mentor and the mentee. And for the mentor, when you help someone, when you teach someone something, you learn the same thing twice. So that's a great opportunity for growth. And for the mentee, please take advantage of one or many mentors so that you may grow as well. And in the process, there's nothing to lose when we also gain a friend. It's not just a life coach, but also a great friend. And last but not least, please take away all the learnings that you've gained today and help someone either in Toastmasters or outside Toastmasters, whether it's in a personal setting or in any kind of social setting. So let's together make a difference in our lives and also in someone else's lives. With that, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today. Thank you to all our speakers. Thank you to all our participants. And have a good evening, everybody.
Thank you, President. Thank you,
Thank you so much.
Melody. Thank you, Munir.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, everyone, for listening.